Hey y'all, my name is Desiree, and when I thought about social justice, usually it's like institutional, but this is actually a love letter from a big sister to a little brother. And so if there is a black man in your life that you love, teach, or know, I hope this resonates with you. Stop it. Okay. Dear Joshua, I cannot believe you just turned 21. It seems like only yesterday that I accidentally locked you in your room and Dad had to get the screwdriver out to break you out. Or you beat me in Guitar Hero all the time in your skinny jeans skater phase. I swear you had jeans in every color of the rainbow. Or that time I asked you who you got to sing the chorus to your song Sunrise, and you were like, Des, that's me. Mind blown. And years later, you are still blowing my mind. During Christmas break, I remember sitting across from you at Red Robin after one of our movie outings, and I was just so impressed with how you analyze cinematography or appreciate a musical score. I was surprised and excited that you had just finished reading Moby Dick, the really long sea story with way too many whaling details, not the shorter Old Man and the Sea that I had read. I don't think I've met anyone as authentic, as thoughtful, and as disciplined as you. But I digress. This is your 21st birthday, so I should be saying turn up, but I can't seem to turn down my fears that as you are becoming a man in a nation that sees you as a threat, in a neutral place at the wrong time, someone with power might project their prejudice-tainted fears onto your perfectly painted face. I wonder if they'll take the time to consider that you are nobody's stereotype. Through your headphones, you are synthesizing the beats of Dr. Dre with the melodies of Mozart, the funk of Fink and Johnny Cash chords with the angst-filled sincerity of Amy Winehouse ballads. I worry if they, on that SEPTA-trained platform, will take the time to discover that you were on your way home from a session in one of Drexel University's studios. Or will they assume you're uneducated, even though I call you Yelder because you are an old soul whose young mind drops knowledge into mine on a regular. So in honor of your 21st birthday and a desire for you to see your next, I have compiled a 4-item care package for you. Item number 1, a life insurance application. During church the other day, I heard the preacher say that the oldest person in the room is not the one with the most years, but the person who'll be leaving this earth next. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. If you, Dad, Michael Brown, and Tamir Rice were all sitting in the same room on August 8th, 2 years ago, the oldest person in the room was days away from college, and the second oldest was 3 months out from Thanksgiving break of his 7th grade year. But Dad would have been the only one in the room with life insurance. If that's the case, here's a brochure, as it might be time for you to join AARP, as there is no security in your social status as a young black man. In fact, in the America I see, you are Art, an African American with reduced possibilities, and I'm afraid that a random outing for you could result in you being put in a permanent retirement home some 6 feet underground. Item number 2. A list. I took the liberty of compiling 21 things you ought not do based on the untimely deaths of previous black men that have gone on before you, but because you're one for brevity, I'll summarize. The first 7 mainly suggest that you ought not travel to or ever settle down in the state of Florida, as you can get tasered for walking down the wrong side of the road, or killed for playing music too loudly at a gas station, or, wearing a hoodie. The next 7 are all about places you should not be. That could be bus stops or parking lots, or even the doorway to your own home, or stores like Macy's and Barney's, because you don't look like the type of person who can afford expensive accessories, even though our 2 parents have 4 streams of income between the both of them. The last 7 are the most obvious, but in case you need a reminder, never in your life hold, touch, reach for, or stand too close to a gun or sword. I don't care if it's plastic, brightly colored, or still wrapped in a Walmart toy box. You better feed your nostalgia in another way. I imagine, though, this list is a little useless, though, because it tells you all these ways you could prevent interacting with the police, but doesn't really tell you what to do should that ship sail and you find yourself drowning in the assumptions of one with the authority of a loaded gun. Hence my third item, gloves. You mentioned that you've been watching some videos lately of random black men being mistaken for suspects. And you've wondered, should a cop ever pop out and start yelling at you, what exactly should you do with your hands? You're a good kid in a mad city, so I see why you are conflicted. I mean, should you start to remove them from the pockets of your coat to show, hey, I'm unarmed? Or would it be better to hide them just in case the light were to reflect off the rings on your fingers and the cop were to assume that you're packing heat? It is so weird for me to hear you say that you don't know what to do with your hands. These same hands that play 4 instruments and orchestrate music could all of a sudden be forced to raise up in a 10-finger symphony crying out, don't shoot. But if God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, then take these royal blue Avenger gloves that I found on Amazon and wear them as a badge of protection against the brutal cold of assumptions. So that should any cop turn villain and force you to put your hands up where they can see them, they will be forced to marvel at the fact that you must be an entire family's hero in order to have gloves like those. I want them to feel convicted in their inner man, searching for alternative to iron bullets, seeing that a young black man can be a captain of this America too. And now for your fourth item, a permission slip. This document, signed by me, says that you are more than welcome to discard this entire package. You can ignore all my advice for how to be safe in this field of life. Please do not trip over my well-intentioned form of oppression, as I think that I'm essentially still locking you in a small space some 17 years later. Forgive me for being yet another person telling you how to be. These 21 lifelines I've strung out for you are but intertwining cords that shape the noose to your spirit, as physical survival in a jaded, jacked up world is no cause for celebration, as it still equates the enslavement of your soul. I apologize for brutalizing your sense of freedom by policing your actions in an attempt to control others' perceptions of you. In reality, I am no different than any officer misusing their influence to control you, beating you with a baton to stay safe and not strong, deploying lists of do's and don'ts, like canisters of tear gas that merely obscure the issue, that no one's sense of security or comfort ought to rest on your shoulders. Their fear should not build pressure in your lungs, making you cry out, I can't breathe, against the chokehold of constraints about where and when and how and what your black body should and should not do. Yes, love is the motive for my concerns, but I must make justice the instrument that guides your life's song instead of playing into the rhetoric and rhythms of fear. Your name is Josh, not Jim. So I'll stop crowing on about how you can abide by a 21st century Negro code and allow the whisper of wisdom to speak to my heart. That as long as the mind is enslaved, the body will never be set free. So protest me using my instrument to silence yours. Protest my fears for your safety by still going to Wawa at midnight for your cravings of Fruit Loops. And show that Black Lives Matter, most importantly, by simply living yours. Riots are the language of the unheard, and I hear the riot in your music, your voice, your thoughts, and your choice to live life unafraid. That is the Langston in you saying, democracy will not come today or this year, nor ever through compromise and fear. You have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on your own 2 feet and own this land. And so, dearest Joshua, should there ever come a day when I can no longer hear your heart or its beats, I will listen to the record of your life and I will smile in the silence of my grief, knowing that at the very least you do not accommodate anyone's fears in the years of your life. Happy 21st, little brother. I look forward to how you riot in the days ahead, because you show me the point of this life is to actually use your freedom before you are dead. Thank you.